of Texas. Ken, thank you so much for your time with us here today. Tell us, what exactly is no cash bail, and how does cashless bail policies affect public safety?
Well, you have to get people, first of all, thank you for having me. You have to get people to court to be able to resolve their criminal case. And the different types of release have different failure to appear rates. The no cash bail system, however you want to call it, in Texas, we would call it the use of excessive use of personal bonds, has a much higher failure to appear rate. That means more people miss court. That means their cases have to be put on hold, and that creates bigger and bigger backlogs for courts.
And I know there are different jurisdictions in Texas that are currently implementing these policies now. We heard from the El Paso District Attorney's Office today. They said they urge judges to uphold a bond in an effort to keep offenders who they deem as dangerous off the street until their cases are heard in court. We, however, did not hear back from the district clerk jail magistrate. From your understanding, is El Paso implementing this policy, and where do you see it most prevalent in Texas?
I believe that El Paso uses an extraordinarily large amount of personal bonds. I believe that's around 60%, which would place it in probably the highest percentage. So that means it's one of the counties most using this policy that the president is saying we need to limit or get rid of.
And the order also directs the Attorney General to identify jurisdictions that have ended cash bail for serious offenses within 30 days. So what happens next? Where are we now, and what happens next?
Well, I mean, I think the president is putting a highlight, or he's putting a spotlight on these cash are these simple release mechanism systems. Like in New York, we call it release on no bond. In California, we call it release on zero bail. In Texas, we would call it release on personal bond. And where we go from here is, now that the president's put a spotlight on it and the lack of accountability and the high dismissal rate, and I think we're going to see more and more discussion about this. We're going to see a shift from we need to be forgiving to we need more public safety. And until we have more public safety, I think you're going to see this discussion shift more and more towards law and order.
How does this order, in your opinion, restore meaningful accountability within the justice system?
Well, a good example in Harris County in Houston, Texas, you have someone that fails to show up for court 17 times, and they just get arrested and released again and again and again on a personal bond. You can see what effect that has on courts. They have the same number of cases being added, but they have more and more people missing court. That creates backlogs. Backlogs creates pressure to dismiss cases. Dismissal of cases is seen as a green light by defendants to commit more crime, and that's what you see happening, and that's what needs to stop.
Finally, Mr. Good, how does this order also affect the professional bail industry in Texas? It's a business after all, and you have to assume there's going to be some sort of ripple effect in the industry.
Well, in Texas, according to the Texas Office of Court Administration, the bail industry is already responsible for 83% of all releases in the state. So Texas is not one of those states that's really being a focus of this once you get outside of El Paso and then Harris County. So it's a problem that's limited to a couple of counties that have some Soros DAs who are focusing on issues other than public safety.
Mr. Good, thank you so much for your time and your insight with us here today. We appreciate it, and look forward to speaking with you here in the future.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, and coming up, students at universities here in Texas.